Have you ever wondered why these samurai are remembered today? The story of the 47 Ronin is one that continues to captivate people across the globe, representing not just a tale of revenge, but an epic narrative woven with threads of loyalty, honor, and sacrifice. It all begins with Asano Naganori, a feudal lord whose life would set off a chain of events that would change the course of history. Asano, a young lord from the Eiko domain, faced a life-altering encounter with Kira Yoshinaka, a corrupt court official known for his ruthless dealings and manipulations. Asano's situation reflects a common struggle in samurai culture, the clash between personal honor and societal pressures. On a fateful day, in a moment of frustration, Asano attacked Kira within the Shogun's castle. This act was a pivotal moment that led to his disgrace and subsequent forced seppuku, a form of ritual suicide that was both an act of honor and a punishment for his failure. The tragedy of Asano's fate ignited the legendary quest of the 47 Ronin, his loyal samurai retainers who would not allow his death to go unavenged. This episode exemplifies the samurai's unwavering dedication to their lord, a theme deeply embedded in the samurai code of honor, known as Bushido. Bushido encompasses values such as loyalty, courage, and honor, principles that guided the Ronin's actions in the face of adversity. What makes their tale even more profound is the examination of their loyalty. After Asano's death, the Ronin found themselves without a master, a status that would label them as Ronin, samurai who had lost their lord. The term itself carries a heavy burden. In a culture that held fealty as a paramount virtue, being without a master could lead to a life of wandering and shame. Imagine the conflict within these men, trained warriors, once part of a noble house, now faced with the stark reality of their new identity. In a society where honor dictated one's existence, the Ronin's plight raises a significant question. How do you preserve your honor when you have lost everything? Many samurai in their position would have resorted to mercenary work or turned to lives of banditry. However, the 47 Ronin chose a different path, one steeped in loyalty to their fallen lord. Their decision to seek vengeance was not merely about personal retribution. It was an embodiment of the very essence of Bushido. In their quest for revenge, the Ronin met in secret, plotting their course of action with great deliberation. This was not a hasty decision born of anger. It was a carefully orchestrated plan that would require immense patience and strategic thinking. They knew the risks. Failure would mean certain death, but the choice was clear. For them, to fail to avenge Asano would be to dishonor not just their master, but themselves. This determination and foresight highlight the complex interplay between loyalty and honor within the samurai ethos. As they gathered allies, their mission began to take shape. The Ronin forged alliances with other disgruntled samurai who shared their sense of injustice. Together, they formed a brotherhood bound by a common goal. This collective unity stands as a testament to the power of camaraderie among warriors. It also poses another intriguing thought. Can honor and loyalty lead men to defy the very structures of authority that govern them? Their plan culminated in a fateful night, one that would seal their place in history. But the question remains, what led them to choose this path of vengeance? Was it the desire for justice, or was it a deep-seated need to uphold the principles that had defined their lives? This duality adds layers to their character and forces us to confront our understanding of justice in a world that often blurs the lines between right and wrong. A strange fact that might surprise you is that while many people view the Ronin as heroes, some see their actions as misguided. Their pursuit of vengeance challenges conventional morality, raising eyebrows even today. It prompts us to reflect, is revenge ever justified, especially when it leads to further violence? This moral quandary is central to understanding the impact of the 47 Ronin story, as it illustrates the complexity of human emotion and the weight of societal expectations. Through their tale, we learn that the samurai way was not without its flaws. The rigid adherence to honor and loyalty could lead to disastrous outcomes, as demonstrated by the Ronin's tragic end. After successfully avenging their lord by killing Kira, they were faced with a heartbreaking decision: to accept their fates and commit seppuku, or to live as outlaws. Their choice to end their lives was a profound statement about the importance they placed on honor, even in death. This is not just a story about vengeance. It is a deep dive into the human psyche, exploring what it means to be loyal in a world that can often feel unjust. It makes us question our own values. What would we be willing to sacrifice for the people we love? The struggle of the 47 Ronin transcends time and culture, echoing through the ages as a poignant reminder of the complexities of loyalty and the heavy burden of honor. As we unravel the story of the 47 Ronin, we realize that their legacy is not just about what they did, but how their actions resonate with us today. Their commitment to honor and loyalty challenges us to examine our beliefs and to think critically about our own choices in a world where right and wrong can often be ambiguous. Thus, the legend of the 47 Ronin endures, captivating our imagination and compelling us to reflect on our own lives. Their journey serves as a reminder that sometimes, in the quest for justice, we must confront the darkest parts of ourselves. The complexities of loyalty, honor, and sacrifice resonate across time, encouraging each of us to consider, what does it truly mean to be loyal? To understand this, we must delve into a world where honor, loyalty, and status are intricately woven into the very fabric of life. Ronin were samurai who found themselves without a master, and this status was far from a mere title. Imagine being stripped of your identity, your purpose, and your societal role. For a samurai, this could lead to a life of wandering and shame, casting a long shadow over their once noble existence. The very term Rōnin conveys a sense of loss and struggle. It literally translates to wave man, suggesting a drifting existence, like waves on the ocean without direction. When a samurai's lord died or was defeated, those who remained without a master became Rōnin. This could happen for various reasons, but the result was the same. They were left in a precarious position. As they wandered through life without a guiding hand, many grappled with a profound identity crisis. Now let's explore the internal conflict these warriors faced. Most people think that becoming a Rōnin would be a matter of choice, an opportunity for freedom. But the reality is that for many, it was a devastating blow to their honor and pride. Imagine dedicating your life to serving a lord, only to find yourself abandoned and adrift. This led many Rōnin to seek new lords or turn to mercenary work. However, the transition was fraught with difficulty. Most samurai were trained from a young age to serve with loyalty. Without that, many felt lost. A strange fact to consider is that in some cases, Rōnin were treated with disdain by society. While some might romanticize the idea of a wandering warrior, many Rōnin face scorn and ridicule. Picture a warrior, once respected and feared, now reduced to seeking scraps or a place to call home. This stigma added to their burden, compounding the challenge of finding purpose in a world that had cast them aside. The struggle for meaning often led Rōnin to consider options that would compromise their values. Some chose to become bandits, raiding villages to survive. Others became mercenaries, offering their skills to the highest bidder. Herein lies a critical point. In a rigid society that prizes honor, the transition to a life of lawlessness or betrayal was a complex and often painful choice. Each of these paths posed significant moral dilemmas. A true samurai was expected to uphold the principles of Bushido, the code of honor governing their behavior. Yet the loss of their master often forced them to reevaluate what honor meant in a world that had changed. The question remains, how do you maintain honor when everything you believed in has collapsed? For many Rōnin, this was not just a philosophical question, it was a matter of survival. As they roamed the countryside, they often found themselves wrestling with their own identities and the choices they made. This struggle raises another intriguing thought. Can a person truly be honorable if they are forced to live outside the rules they once held sacred? Many Rōnin sought solace in the bonds they formed with fellow warriors. This camaraderie became a lifeline for many as they navigated their new realities. It was not uncommon for groups of Rōnin to band together, sharing resources and supporting one another in their quest for purpose. This sense of brotherhood provided an essential support network, allowing them to share their struggles and ambitions. The strength of these relationships offered a semblance of belonging in a world that often felt hostile. Controversially, some might argue that the existence of Rōnin symbolizes the failure of the samurai class to adapt to changing times. As society evolved during the Edo period, the rigid hierarchies that defined samurai culture began to crumble. While many Rōnin fought valiantly for their ideals, others saw them as relics of a bygone era, unable to adapt to the realities of a more peaceful society. This view can provoke a strong reaction, pushing some to argue that these warriors represented an outdated philosophy in a world moving toward modernity. Despite their struggles, Rōnin played a vital role in shaping the cultural landscape of Japan. They became figures of intrigue, embodying the tension between loyalty and independence. Their stories filled the pages of literature and the stages of theater, captivating audiences with tales of courage and betrayal. Little known to many is that the legendary status of Rōnin paved the way for the romanticized portrayals of samurai in popular culture, influencing everything from literature to film. As we explore the lives of Rōnin, we must remember that their experiences were not just individual struggles. They reflected broader societal changes. The rigid class structures of feudal Japan were beginning to shift, and the stories of these wandering warriors mirrored the anxieties and uncertainties of a nation in transition. Their plight raises critical questions about identity and purpose in a rapidly changing world. In summary, being a Rōnin was about more than just losing a master. It was about navigating a complex web of honor, shame, and identity in a society that demanded loyalty above all else. The existence of Rōnin invites us to consider how we define our values in the face of adversity. Their stories remind us that the search for purpose can be fraught with challenges, yet it is also a journey that shapes who we are. As we continue to unravel the tale of the 47 Rōnin, we will see how their journey reflects our struggles with loyalty and identity in an ever-changing world. How did the Rōnin plan their revenge? Picture this, a group of skilled warriors, once loyal samurai, now bound by a shared goal. Instead of succumbing to despair, they resolved to take action, transforming their grief into a relentless pursuit of justice. They knew that their quest would not be easy, and their actions would likely lead to their deaths. Most people think that revenge is a straightforward path, a quick resolution to a deep-seated grievance, but the reality is far more complex. This journey required meticulous planning, unwavering patience, and an understanding of the stakes involved. The Rōnin met secretly, plotting under the cover of darkness, knowing that failure could mean not just the end of their lives, but a dishonor that would reflect on their fallen lord. Their gatherings were filled with tension and purpose. Imagine the weight of that room. Warriors bound by loyalty, discussing discussing strategies in hushed tones. They knew they needed a plan that was not only effective but also honorable. This was not about recklessness. It was about fulfilling their duty to their lord. The samurai code of Bushido guided them, a code that demanded not just bravery but also strategic thought. They were committed to avenging Asano's death in a way that would bring honor to his memory. The Ronin understood that patience would be their greatest weapon. They bided their time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. During this period of waiting, they forged alliances with other disgruntled samurai who shared their disdain for Kira. This is where their commitment truly shone. They were not alone in their quest. They formed a brotherhood, united by a common cause, each warrior contributing their unique skills and insights. This strategic alliance not only strengthened their resolve, but also expanded their resources and intelligence. A strange fact to consider is that, in their pursuit of revenge, they had to operate under the constant threat of discovery. Kira, fully aware of the potential backlash against him, fortified his defenses. This high-stakes game of cat and mouse showcased their stealth and cunning. They were not just warriors. They became tacticians, analyzing every move and countermove, striving to remain one step ahead. In the midst of their plotting, a controversial thought emerges. Some might argue that their quest for revenge was misguided. After all, they were prepared to risk everything, including the honor they sought to uphold, in a battle that could lead to further bloodshed. Would their actions truly restore Asano's honor, or would it perpetuate a cycle of violence? This moral ambiguity adds depth to their story, challenging us to consider the complexities of justice and vengeance. What many may not realize is that the preparation for this revenge took years. The Ronin didn't act impulsively. They meticulously laid the groundwork for their attack on Kira. This long-term commitment speaks volumes about their dedication to Asano. Powerful reminder of how loyalty can transcend death, compelling individuals to take action in the name of those they have lost. Their story teaches us about the lengths to which we will go for those we love, even when the path is fraught with peril. As they approached the moment of action, the tension in their ranks intensified. Each Ronin faced a personal struggle. Would they be willing to sacrifice their lives for this cause? The stakes were incredibly high. Many samurai believed that dying for a noble cause would grant them a kind of immortality, but the fear of failure loomed large. What if their quest ended in futility? These internal conflicts served as a backdrop to their planning, revealing the depth of their commitment to honor and loyalty. The Ronin also had to navigate the political landscape of Edo period Japan. The Shogun's authority was absolute, and any act of defiance could lead to severe consequences. They were not just up against Kira. They were challenging a system that prioritized obedience and conformity over individual justice. This adds an intriguing layer to their planning. The Ronin understood that their actions could inspire others. By standing up to Kira, they could galvanize support from those who felt similarly wrong. In this complex environment, their preparation took on an even greater significance. They began to view their mission as not just personal revenge, but a movement against corruption and injustice. This was a pivotal shift in their mindset. No longer were they simply avenging their lord. They were also fighting for the ideals that defined the samurai code. Their story began to resonate beyond their immediate circumstances, echoing through history as a symbol of resistance against oppression. As they finalized their plans, anticipation hung heavy in the air. Each meeting brought them closer to their goal, but also heightened the risks. The night of the attack would require not just bravery, but precision and timing. They were preparing for a decisive moment that would determine their legacy. Would they emerge as heroes or be remembered as misguided souls who had lost their way? The culmination of their efforts would soon unfold, leading to a climactic confrontation. However, before that moment arrived, the Ronin's strategic thinking and unwavering loyalty had already begun to forge their place in history. Their journey from grief to determination exemplified the samurai spirit and set the stage for a legendary tale of vengeance that would resonate for generations to come. In summary, the Ronin's planning was a testament to their loyalty and commitment. They transformed a personal tragedy into a strategic quest, embodying the principles of honor and sacrifice. The complexities of their journey illustrate the challenges of navigating loyalty in a world filled with moral ambiguity. As we continue to unravel their story, we will see how their actions would lead to a pivotal moment in history, redefining the meaning of honor in samurai culture. What role did loyalty play in their story? The concept of loyalty is central to the tale of the 47 Ronin, intertwining with themes of honor, duty, and sacrifice. These samurai were not just warriors. They embodied a code of ethics that dictated their actions, influencing not only their fate, but also that of their entire clan. Loyalty, in the samurai tradition, was more than just a word, it was a way of life. The Ronin were driven by an unwavering sense of duty to their fallen lord, Asano Naganori. After his death, their loyalty transformed into a burning desire for revenge against Kira Yoshinaka, the corrupt official whose actions led to Asano's demise. Most people think that loyalty is simply about remaining faithful to one's leader, but the reality is much more complicated. The Ronin's commitment to Asano represented their dedication not only to him, but also to the very principles that defined their existence as samurai. This loyalty inspired others to join their cause, demonstrating how powerful a shared commitment can be. The Ronin's plight resonated with many disgruntled samurai who had also felt wronged by the system. system. As they gathered allies, their bond deepened, solidifying a brotherhood based on shared values and a common goal. Imagine the strength of this unity. Warriors, once scattered and leaderless, now coming together to honor their fallen lord through collective action. This illustrates a profound truth. Loyalty can be a rallying point, creating a force strong enough to challenge authority. However, this fierce loyalty was not without its challenges. The risk of betrayal from within loomed large, as the stakes were incredibly high. The samurai code, or Bushido, emphasized loyalty to one's lord, but it also required that loyalty to the group he maintained. One moment of weakness could derail their mission and taint Asano's legacy. It's fascinating to consider that while they were united in purpose, each Ronin had to navigate their own internal conflicts. Could they trust every member of their group, knowing that the fear of failure could push someone to betrayal? A strange fact that might surprise you is that loyalty in samurai culture often meant sacrificing personal desires for the greater good. Many people think loyalty is simply about sticking by someone through thick and thin, but the samurai took it to an extreme. They were prepared to lay down their lives not just for their lord, but for the very ideals he represented. This raises an intriguing question. How far would you go for loyalty? The Ronin were willing to face certain death for a cause they believed in, highlighting the extremes that loyalty can drive us to. The impact of their loyalty extended beyond their immediate circle. As news of the Ronin's quest spread, it inspired other samurai and commoners alike. Their actions challenged the existing social order and raised fundamental questions about honor and justice. Most people think that loyalty is inherently virtuous, but the Ronin story complicates this view. Their relentless pursuit of revenge for Asano's honor also led them to confront the very authority they were sworn to respect. This paradox of loyalty and rebellion is what makes their story so compelling. Understanding the complexities of loyalty helps us see their actions in context. The Ronin were not just seeking revenge, they were challenging a corrupt system that had wronged them. In doing so, they became symbols of resistance against injustice, transcending their roles as mere warriors. Their loyalty to Asano transformed into a broader struggle for justice, showcasing how loyalty can serve as both a personal commitment and a catalyst for societal change. As the Ronin plotted their revenge, their sense of duty fueled their actions. They knew that their quest would likely end in death, yet they pressed on, driven by the desire to restore Asano's honor. This relentless pursuit illustrates a profound truth about loyalty. It often comes with a price. The Ronin's commitment required them to face significant personal risk and sacrifice. They were fully aware of the consequences, yet they chose to act. Their willingness to embrace such risks challenges us to consider our own commitments and the lengths we would go to honor them. Interestingly, the notion of loyalty extends beyond personal relationships. It also encompasses loyalty to a cause. The Ronin's actions reflected a commitment to the samurai code itself, which valued honor above all. Their quest for revenge became a powerful statement about the importance of maintaining one's principles in the face of adversity. It prompts us to ask, how do we balance our personal loyalties with the broader values we hold dear? The Ronin's journey challenges us to reflect on this balance, urging us to think critically about the commitments we make in our own lives. The story of the Ronin is often romanticized, but their reality was marked by profound internal and external conflicts. Loyalty, while a source of strength, also placed them in precarious positions. Their unwavering commitment drove them to confront societal norms and challenge authority, ultimately leading to their historical legacy. This duality of loyalty as both a virtue and a potential source of conflict adds layers of complexity to their tale. In summary, loyalty is a central theme in the story of the 47 Ronin, embodying the samurai code that governed their lives. Their unwavering commitment to Asano Naganori inspired not only their actions, but also others around them, transforming their quest into a powerful narrative of honor and justice. As we continue to explore their journey, we will uncover how this loyalty propelled them into a historical moment that resonates through time, challenging our understanding of loyalty, honor, and sacrifice. How did their actions challenge societal norms? The quest of the 47 Ronin was not just a personal vendetta. It was a profound act of defiance against the established order. At the heart of their story lies a central conflict, the tension between loyalty to their fallen lord and the rigid expectations imposed by the Shogun's authority. This struggle invites us to examine how individuals can challenge societal norms in the name of justice. The Ronin's actions directly defied the Shogun's authority, highlighting a fundamental clash between personal honor and the dictates of power. Most people think that loyalty to a leader is unwavering and absolute, but the reality is much more complex. The Ronin's commitment to avenging Asano Naganori put them at odds with the very system that demanded their loyalty. Their pursuit of justice questioned the legitimacy of the Shogun's rule and the fairness of a society that allowed corruption to flourish. In a world where samurai were expected to adhere to the social hierarchy, the Ronin's actions were revolutionary. They didn't just seek revenge, they challenged the very framework of their society. Imagine being part of a class that prides itself on honor, only to find that honor can be manipulated and disregarded by those in power. The Ronin recognized that true honor lay in standing up against injustice, even when it meant defying the law. This raises an intriguing question. Can defiance ever be justified in the pursuit of honor? A strange fact fact that many may not know is that the concept of loyalty in samurai culture was not merely about obedience. It often involved a deep-seated expectation of justice. The Ronin believed they were fulfilling a sacred duty, one that transcended their immediate obligations to the shogun. Their actions sparked debates about the nature of loyalty, leading some to argue that loyalty to a corrupt system is not true loyalty at all. This controversial view challenges the traditional understanding of samurai values and invites us to reconsider our own definitions of loyalty and justice. The Ronin's quest also raised critical questions about justice and honor. While many viewed their actions as noble, the reality is that the shogun's laws declared their revenge illegal. The Ronin were aware that they could face severe consequences for their actions, yet they proceeded, driven by a sense of moral obligation to avenge their lord. This moral ambiguity complicates our perception of justice. It prompts us to consider, how do we define justice when the laws themselves seem unjust? Understanding the Ronin's motivations reveals the complexities of their rebellion against societal norms. Their actions were not born out of mere anger. They stemmed from a profound sense of betrayal. In standing against Kira Yoshinaka, they sought to restore the integrity of the samurai code, which emphasized loyalty and honor. Their quest to right the wrongs of the past illustrates how deeply intertwined personal honor and societal expectations can be. As they prepared for their assault on Kira, the Ronin faced not only external challenges but internal conflicts as well. The pressure to conform to societal expectations weighed heavily on them. The shogun had established strict rules governing behavior, and the Ronin's quest directly challenged those norms. The tension between following the law and pursuing justice creates a compelling narrative, highlighting the struggles individuals face when confronted with ethical dilemmas. In many ways, the Ronin's defiance served as a catalyst for change. Their actions ignited a conversation about the nature of justice within a rigid social structure. The desire for honor in a corrupt society led them to take a stand that resonated beyond their immediate circumstances. This act of rebellion can be seen as a precursor to broader movements advocating for justice and accountability, making their story relevant even in modern discussions about authority and governance. A little-known fact is that the legacy of the 47 Ronin has influenced countless works of art, literature, and theater, reinforcing the idea that challenging societal norms can inspire cultural change. Their story has become a symbol of resistance, illustrating how acts of defiance can lead to significant societal reflection and transformation. In this sense, their quest transcended personal revenge. It became a movement advocating for integrity and leadership and justice for the oppressed. They had to be prepared for the consequences of their actions, knowing that their pursuit of justice could lead to their downfall. This tension between individual conviction and societal expectations highlights a universal struggle, the desire to uphold one's principles in a world that may not always support them. In summary, the actions of the 47 Ronin challenge us to consider what it means to stand up against authority in the pursuit of justice. Their commitment to honor and loyalty transformed into a powerful rebellion against a corrupt system, sparking critical conversations about the nature of justice and the role of loyalty in our lives. As we delve deeper into their story, we will uncover how their defiance not only shaped their legacy, but also paved the way for discussions about morality and authority that remain relevant today. What was the significance of the attack on Kira? The night of the attack marked a pivotal moment in the saga of the 47 Ronin. On that fateful evening, a carefully orchestrated plan, years in the making, would culminate in an act that would forever alter the course of Japanese history. Most people think that acts of revenge are merely impulsive, driven by rage and sorrow. However, the reality is far more intricate. The Ronin's assault was a strategic, calculated move that underscored their commitment to honor and justice. As the snow fell gently outside, the Ronin stealthily approached Kira Yoshinaka's mansion, their hearts pounding with anticipation. Imagine the tension in the air, a group of determined samurai ready to reclaim their lord's honor while risking their own lives. This moment was not just about vengeance. It was a powerful statement against the corruption that had led to Asano Naganori's demise. They knew the consequences of their actions could lead to their deaths, yet they pressed on, driven by a profound sense of duty. This dedication raises an important question. What compels individuals to take such monumental risks for a cause greater than themselves? A strange fact that many might not know is that the attack took place on a snowy night, creating an eerie yet dramatic atmosphere. The white snow contrasted sharply with the blood that would soon stain the ground, symbolizing the purity of their intentions against the dark backdrop of betrayal they sought to avenge. This visual starkness added a layer of gravity to their mission, illustrating the clash between honor and violence. The Ronin understood that they were stepping into the annals of history. Their actions would be scrutinized and debated for generations to come. The precision and stealth displayed during the attack were crucial to its success. Unlike a haphazard rush into battle, the Ronin utilized tactics honed over years of training. They knew that every detail mattered. As they infiltrated Kira's mansion, their training and discipline became evident. They moved as a unit, each warrior aware of his role and the part he played in this collective act of defiance. This level of coordination raises a controversial point. Could the Ronin's actions be justified if they had failed? Some might argue that failure would have rendered their quest meaningless, undermining their noble intentions. However, this perspective overlooks the complexities of their motivations and the broader implications of their actions. Witnesses to the attack reported a fierce and honorable battle, marking a stark contrast to the political machinations that had led to Asano's death. The Ronin fought not just for revenge, but to reclaim the honor that had been stripped from them and their lord. Their determination to confront Kira directly challenged the societal norms of their time. In an era when honor was paramount, these samurai turned the tide against the very system that sought to suppress them. This act of defiance raises another intriguing question. How does one define honor in a society where corruption thrives? Kira's death symbolized the fulfillment of the Ronin's quest, but it also set the stage for the complex moral landscape that would follow. While many viewed their actions as noble, they were, by law, murderers. The Ronin's quest for justice placed them at odds with the established order, forcing society to grapple with the questions of legality versus morality. It is fascinating to consider how this moment sparked debates that echo through history. When is it acceptable to defy authority? The significance of the attack on Kira extends beyond mere revenge. It served as a catalyst for social reflection. The Ronin's actions highlighted the inherent flaws in a system that allowed for such injustice. This event forced individuals to confront their values and beliefs about loyalty, honor, and justice. The attack became a symbol of resistance, urging others to examine their roles within a corrupt society. A rare fact that might surprise viewers is that this act of defiance ultimately led to significant shifts in the samurai class's perception, influencing how honor and loyalty were viewed in subsequent generations. The Ronin's determination and the dramatic nature of their attack not only cemented their place in history but also transformed them into legends. They became icons of honor and loyalty, inspiring countless stories, plays, and adaptations. However, their story also serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the fine line between justice and revenge. Their actions raise ethical questions that remain relevant today. How do we navigate our commitments in the face of injustice? What would we sacrifice for those we love? In summary, the significance of the attack on Kira extends far beyond the immediate act of vengeance. It represents a defining moment in the struggle for honor and justice, showcasing the complexities of loyalty and rebellion. As we continue to explore the story of the 47 Ronin, we will uncover how this attack not only fulfilled their quest but also sparked a broader conversation about morality, authority, and the lengths one will go to reclaim honor in a world rife with corruption. The echoes of their actions resonate through history, inviting us to reflect on our values and the choices we make in pursuit of justice. What happened after the revenge was carried out? The aftermath of the Ronin's attack on Kira Yoshinaka was as significant as the act itself. After their quest for vengeance was fulfilled, the Ronin faced a harsh reality that would test their convictions and ultimately define their legacy. Most people think that acts of revenge lead to a resolution or closure, but the reality is often more complicated. The Ronin's story exemplifies how the pursuit of honor can come with profound consequences. Following the attack, the Ronin made a fateful decision. They surrendered to the authorities. This choice was not made lightly. Imagine the scene. A group of warriors who had just executed a meticulously planned revenge now standing before the very system they had defied, ready to face whatever repercussions awaited them. This moment raises an essential question. Why would they surrender after achieving their goal? The answer lies in the samurai code, which emphasized not only honor in action, but also the importance of facing consequences with dignity. They were given a stark choice: live as outlaws or die honorably. This dilemma illustrates a common theme in samurai culture: the idea that death can be more honorable than a life lived in disgrace. The Ronin understood that their actions, while justifiable in their eyes, were considered crimes by the law. Some might argue that they could have fled and lived on as heroes in the shadows, but the Ronin chose a path that resonated with their beliefs. Their decision underscores a controversial aspect of the samurai mindset. Would it be better to die with honor than to live without it? This belief system compels us to reflect on our values and the sacrifices we are willing to make for them. Their choice to commit seppuku or ritual suicide was profound. For the Ronin, this act was not just an end to their lives, but a final statement of their unwavering loyalty to Asano Naganori and their commitment to the samurai code. Imagine the gravity of that moment, each warrior taking responsibility for their actions, ensuring their death would serve a purpose greater than themselves. This raises an intriguing question. How does the act of dying for one's principles influence our understanding of loyalty and sacrifice? A strange fact that might surprise many is that seppuku was often performed in a ceremonial manner, complete with elaborate rituals and the presence of witnesses. This act, while tragic, was steeped in tradition, emphasizing the dignity of the samurai even in death. Some may view this practice as extreme, and it certainly challenges our contemporary notions of justice and morality. The Ronin's choice reflects a profound commitment to their values, even in the face of death. This act further cemented their legacy of honor and loyalty. Committing seppuku, the Ronin transformed their quest for revenge into a powerful narrative about sacrifice and devotion. Their actions invited admiration and respect, not only from their contemporaries, but also from future generations. Interestingly, while some may view their deaths as tragic, others see them as a noble conclusion to a complex tale of loyalty and justice. others. This duality of perception raises critical questions about how society honors those who choose to die for their principles. Their story continues to inspire discussions about honor and sacrifice, demonstrating the lasting impact of their actions. The Ronin have become symbols of loyalty, representing the ideals of the samurai culture that continue to resonate in modern Japanese society. A rare fact that some may not be aware of is that their legacy has influenced numerous cultural works, including literature, theater, and film, ensuring that their story remains relevant today. The 47 Ronin's journey forces us to confront our own beliefs about loyalty and sacrifice. How far are we willing to go for those we love? Their story encourages us to think critically about the choices we make in the name of honor and justice. In a world where ethical dilemmas are commonplace, the Ronin's legacy reminds us that the path we choose can have profound implications, not just for ourselves but for those around us. In summary, the aftermath of the Ronin's quest for vengeance is a powerful testament to their commitment to honor and loyalty. Their choice to surrender and commit seppuku illustrates the complexities of the samurai code and the sacrifices made in the name of justice. As we explore the broader implications of their actions, we will uncover how the Ronin's legacy continues to influence our understanding of loyalty, sacrifice, and the enduring power of choice. Their story challenges us to reflect on our values and inspires us to consider what we are willing to sacrifice for the principles we hold dear. What impact did the 47 Ronin have on Japanese culture? Their story transcends time, becoming a cornerstone of Japanese heritage and morality. Most people think that legends fade away, but the reality is that the tale of the Ronin is not just a story, it is a living part of Japan's identity. The narrative of the 47 Ronin is celebrated in various forms of art, from literature to theater and film. One fascinating aspect is how the Ronin story has been adapted and reinterpreted throughout the years. For instance, one of the most famous adaptations is the kabuki play Cheshingura, which vividly depicts their loyalty and bravery. This play has been performed countless times since its debut in the 18th century, influencing generations and cementing the Ronin's legacy in Japanese culture. It's intriguing to consider how a tale of revenge has transformed into a poignant reflection on honor, loyalty, and sacrifice that resonates deeply with audiences. The tale of the Ronin has become a symbol of loyalty and sacrifice, celebrated every year during memorial services held to honor their memory. These ceremonies are not mere rituals, they are gatherings that reaffirm the values that the Ronin embodied. On the anniversary of their deaths, many Japanese visit the Sengakuji Temple in Tokyo, where the Ronin are buried. It is here that they pay their respects, and many bring offerings of flowers and sake, honoring the samurai who chose honor over life. This act of remembrance serves as a reminder of the importance of loyalty and duty, especially in a culture that highly values these traits. Interestingly, while the Ronin story is deeply revered, it also raises questions about the interpretation of honor and justice in modern times. In a contemporary context, the Ronin are sometimes seen as tragic heroes, but their actions also provoke debate about the ethics of revenge. Some might argue that their decision to seek vengeance was misguided, suggesting that their actions could lead to further violence. This complexity adds depth to their legacy, prompting discussions about the balance between justice and honor that still resonate in today's society. Understanding their impact helps us appreciate Japanese history on a broader scale. The Ronin's tale reflects the tumultuous period of the Edo era, where the samurai class faced significant changes in social structure and power dynamics. Their actions serve as a historical lens, allowing us to examine the conflicts and resolutions that shaped Japan's past. The lessons learned from their story continue to influence modern Japanese culture and society. Moreover, their legacy influences modern interpretations of honor. The themes of loyalty and sacrifice evident in their actions have found parallels in various fields, including politics, business, and personal relationships. People often draw inspiration from the Ronin when faced with dilemmas requiring loyalty and integrity. In a world that sometimes seems to prioritize personal gain over duty, the Ronin remind us of the importance of standing up for our principles, even in the face of adversity. A strange yet thought-provoking fact is that the concept of giri, or obligation, plays a crucial role in understanding the Ronin's actions and their cultural significance. In Japan, giri often refers to the moral obligation to repay a debt or uphold loyalty. The Ronin's commitment to avenging their lord is a perfect embodiment of giri, highlighting how deeply ingrained these values are in Japanese culture. This creates a complex emotional landscape as individuals navigate their duties to family, community, and personal honor. The impact of the 47 Ronin also extends beyond Japan, influencing global narratives about honor and revenge. Their story resonates with audiences worldwide, appearing in various adaptations that highlight universal themes of loyalty and sacrifice. This phenomenon raises an interesting question. Why do certain narratives transcend cultural boundaries? Perhaps it's because the struggle between duty and personal conviction is a conflict that many can relate to, regardless of their cultural background. The legacy of the Ronin serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of standing up for one's beliefs and values. Their actions challenge us to consider what we would do in similar circumstances. Would we choose vengeance, or would we seek to uphold our principles in a different way? This moral subtle ambiguity is what makes their story so compelling and relevant today. In summary, the impact of the 47 Ronin on Japanese culture is profound and multifaceted. Their story continues to inspire and provoke discussions about loyalty, honor, and the consequences of revenge. As we reflect on their legacy, we are reminded of the timeless values that shape our understanding of justice and duty in both historical and contemporary contexts. Their tale remains an integral part of Japan's cultural fabric, ensuring that the lessons learned from their sacrifices will endure for generations to come. How do we view the actions of the 47 Ronin today? The perspective on their choices varies widely and often depends on cultural context. Most people think they are simply heroic figures. However, the reality is far more nuanced, revealing the complexities of honor, justice, and revenge. In contemporary society, the legacy of the 47 Ronin has sparked significant debate. Some individuals view them as heroes who upheld the samurai code of loyalty, fighting against tyranny and injustice. They are celebrated for their commitment to avenging their lord, which many see as a noble act. But there are also those who question the righteousness of their revenge, suggesting that it may have perpetuated a cycle of violence. This duality in perception highlights the ongoing struggle to define honor in a rapidly changing world. The story of the Ronin raises ethical questions about justice. Are their actions justified in the name of loyalty? In a modern context where legal systems are in place to address grievances, the Ronin's choice to take matters into their own hands can be seen as problematic. Many would argue that true honor lies in seeking justice through lawful means rather than resorting to personal vengeance. This view is controversial as it challenges traditional beliefs about loyalty and the samurai ethos, which often places honor above life itself. An interesting perspective emerges when we consider cultural context. In Japan, the narrative surrounding the Ronin is often romanticized, reflecting deep-seated values of loyalty and sacrifice. The concept of giri, or obligation, is central to understanding why their actions are still celebrated. The Ronin's commitment to avenge their lord transcends personal feelings and taps into a broader cultural narrative about duty and responsibility. Yet, when viewed through a Western lens, their actions might be critiqued for lacking legal justification, illustrating how different cultures interpret honor and justice. The fact that adds depth to this discussion is that the Ronin story has become a focal point for discussions about the relevance of samurai values in modern times. Schools in Japan often teach the tale of the Ronin, using it as a means to instill values of loyalty and honor in students. The irony here is that while the Ronin acted outside the law, their story is used to promote adherence to moral codes in contemporary society. This paradox illustrates the complex relationship between past actions and modern interpretations of ethical behavior. The impact of the Ronin's legacy extends beyond cultural debate. Their story continues to inspire individuals facing dilemmas of loyalty and honor today. In situations where personal convictions clash with societal norms, many find themselves reflecting on the Ronin's choices. Would they be willing to sacrifice their lives for a cause they believed in? This question resonates deeply in a world where values are often contested, prompting individuals to examine their own beliefs about loyalty and justice. Moreover, the actions of the Ronin have influenced various forms of media, shaping how we view heroism in popular culture. From films to literature, their story has been adapted and retold in ways that emphasize the tension between loyalty and justice. Characters inspired by the Ronin often grapple with similar dilemmas, highlighting the timeless nature of these conflicts. This artistic representation serves to keep their legacy alive, continually inviting new interpretations and discussions about the moral complexities of revenge. However, not everyone views the Ronin through a lens of admiration. Critics argue that glorifying their actions may encourage individuals to seek vengeance rather than pursue peaceful resolutions. This perspective raises important questions about how society should interpret tales of revenge. Should we celebrate individuals who take the law into their own hands, or should we promote dialogue and understanding as a means to resolve conflicts? A rare fact that enriches this dialogue is that many of the samurai who participated in the Ronin's quest were not originally from the same clan as Asano Naganori. This illustrates that the concept of loyalty extends beyond familial ties. It encompasses a shared sense of duty to uphold a moral code. The willingness of these samurai to risk their lives for someone outside their immediate loyalty challenges our understanding of allegiance and honor. As we delve deeper into the narrative of the 47 Ronin, it becomes evident that their legacy is not merely about revenge, but rather about the enduring values that shape human relationships and society as a whole. Their actions prompt us to consider the cost of loyalty and the implications of our choices in the pursuit of honor. Reflecting on their story encourages us to grapple with our definitions of justice and the ethical dilemmas that arise when loyalty is put to the test. In conclusion, the way we view the actions of the 47 Ronin today is a complex interplay of admiration and critique. Their story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of loyalty and the ethical questions surrounding revenge. As we navigate our own lives and the dilemmas we face, the lessons drawn from the Ronin's legacy continue to resonate, prompting us to reflect on what it truly means to live honorably in an ever-evolving world. What lessons can we learn learn from the 47 Ronin. The tale of these samurai not only captures the imagination, but also imparts valuable insights about loyalty, sacrifice, and the complexities of honor. Most people think their story is just about vengeance. However, the reality is layered, revealing profound lessons that extend far beyond the historical context. The actions of the Ronin challenge us to reflect on loyalty. In their world, loyalty was not simply an option. It was a way of life, deeply embedded in the samurai code known as Bushido. The Ronin were unwavering in their duty to avenge their lord Asano Naganori. This sense of obligation inspired their commitment to a cause greater than themselves, showcasing the lengths to which individuals will go when they feel bound by loyalty. Yet the question arises, at what cost does this loyalty come? The Ronin's commitment led them to commit acts of violence that, while honorable in their eyes, challenge our understanding of loyalty in modern times. An intriguing fact about the Ronin's quest is that many of their members struggled with their identity as masterless samurai. They faced societal shame, often questioning their purpose and worth. This inner conflict highlights a significant lesson. Loyalty can sometimes lead to isolation and desperation. As they grappled with their status, the Ronin turned to each other, forming a tight-knit community that empowered them to carry out their mission. This camaraderie illustrates how collective loyalty can fortify resolve, even in the face of daunting challenges. As we delve deeper, the Ronin's story encourages us to think critically about sacrifice. Their ultimate decision to commit seppuku, or ritual suicide, was a powerful act that cemented their legacy. It was not merely an escape from the consequences of their actions, but a statement of their unwavering commitment to honor. By choosing this path, they left behind a powerful message. Sometimes the greatest sacrifice is not in the act of revenge itself, but in the willingness to face the consequences of one's actions. This raises important ethical questions for us today. How far would we go for those we love? Would we be willing to sacrifice our lives, our values, or our freedom? The tale also emphasizes the importance of understanding motives. The Ronin's motivations stemmed from deep-rooted cultural values, making their actions resonate strongly within the context of Japanese history. However, when we strip away the cultural layers, we must confront the underlying human emotions driving their choices: grief, loyalty, and the quest for justice. These are universal feelings that transcend time and culture, allowing us to connect with their story on a personal level. Reflecting on our motives can help us navigate our relationships and responsibilities in modern society, prompting us to ask whether our actions align with our values. Moreover, the Ronin's experience serves as a reminder that the path of honor is often fraught with complications. Their story is not just one of heroic vengeance, it's also a cautionary tale about the consequences of blind loyalty. While many view their revenge as noble, others see the inherent dangers in taking justice into one's own hands. This duality presents an opportunity for discussion about how we perceive justice and honor in our own lives. Are there moments where our loyalty could lead us astray? Interestingly, the story of the 47 Ronin has been retold in various forms, from theater to film, allowing each generation to reinterpret the lessons it imparts. These adaptations often highlight different aspects of the narrative, making the lessons relevant to contemporary audiences. The notion of sacrifice, for instance, has been portrayed in numerous ways, reflecting society's evolving views on duty and responsibility. This evolution underscores the timeless nature of their story, illustrating how the lessons of the Ronin can continue to inform our understanding of honor, loyalty, and sacrifice today. In conclusion, the story of the 47 Ronin teaches us invaluable lessons about loyalty and sacrifice. Their unwavering commitment to avenge their fallen lord invites us to reflect on the nature of our own loyalties and the lengths we would go for those we care about. As we navigate our own lives, we must consider the complex interplay between honor and justice, and how our choices can shape not only our destinies but the legacies we leave behind. The Ronin's tale remains a poignant reminder that the path of honor is fraught with challenges, yet it is also a path that can lead to profound understanding and connection in our lives. How has the story of the 47 Ronin evolved over time? You might think that historical narratives are static, but in reality they morph and shift, reflecting the values and perspectives of different eras. Most people consider history to be a fixed account of the past. However, the story of the 47 Ronin serves as a prime example of how narratives can change with each retelling, shaped by cultural context and audience reception. The story of the 47 Ronin, rooted in loyalty and honor, has been passed down through generations, inspiring countless adaptations in literature, theater, and film. Each rendition brings its own flavor to the tale, often highlighting different aspects of the narrative that resonate with contemporary audiences. For instance, in the Edo period, the story was used to reinforce the values of loyalty and sacrifice, characteristics admired in samurai culture. Today, however, adaptations may emphasize themes such as personal agency and the consequences of blind loyalty, reflecting modern sensibilities. Interestingly, while the core elements of the story, loyalty, revenge, and honor, remain constant, the way these themes are portrayed can vary significantly. Take, for example, the numerous films based on the Ronin's tale. In some versions, the focus is on the action and the dramatic elements of their quest for revenge, appealing to audiences' thirst for excitement. In others, the narrative delves deeply into the philosophical implications of their actions, provoking thought about the nature of justice and the cost of loyalty. This adaptability is a testament to the story's relevance, allowing it to connect with diverse audiences over time. A somewhat controversial aspect of the Ronin story is how it can be interpreted as a justification for violence in the name of honor. Many viewers may romanticize their quest for revenge, viewing the Ronin as noble heroes. However, others question whether their actions were truly justified, raising ethical concerns about the consequences of vengeance. This dichotomy in perception showcases how societal values influence interpretations of history. What was once seen as heroic can be viewed as problematic in a contemporary context, leading to rich discussions about morality and justice. One of the lesser-known facts about the Ronin's narrative is its significant influence on the development of Japanese theater, particularly in the form of kabuki. This theatrical tradition has played a crucial role in popularizing the story, with numerous kabuki plays depicting the Ronin's tale. The dramatic performances often exaggerate emotions and enhance the heroic elements, further shaping public perception of these historical figures. Through kabuki, the Ronin story has become interwoven with Japan's cultural fabric, cementing its status as a symbol of loyalty and sacrifice. As we explore the evolution of the 47 Ronin story, we also see how historical interpretations can change based on current events. For example, during periods of political upheaval or societal change, the narrative may be adapted to reflect the struggles of the time, offering a means for people to connect with their history and find meaning in their own experiences. This fluidity in storytelling underscores the importance of examining historical narratives critically, recognizing that they are not just tales of the past, but also reflections of the present. Moreover, the legacy of the 47 Ronin continues to inspire modern interpretations, often appearing in various forms of media, including anime and manga. These contemporary adaptations explore themes relevant to today's youth, such as friendship, loyalty, and the quest for identity. By situating the Ronin story within a modern context, creators can highlight the timeless nature of their values, while also inviting new audiences to engage with these historical figures. In conclusion, the story of the 47 Ronin is a dynamic narrative that has evolved significantly over time. From its roots in the samurai code to its modern interpretations, the tale reflects changing societal values and cultural context. As we examine these adaptations, we gain valuable insights into how history is not merely a record of past events, but a living narrative that continues to shape and influence our understanding of loyalty, honor, and justice. This ongoing evolution challenges us to think critically about the stories we tell and the values they embody, reminding us that history is, in many ways, a reflection of ourselves. What role did women play in the 47 Ronin stories? Many people might think of samurai history as a male-dominated narrative filled with warriors and battles, but the truth is that women played significant and often overlooked roles in this epic tale. While the 47 Ronin are celebrated for their loyalty and honor, the contributions of women around them highlight a broader, more complex social fabric. Historically, women in samurai society, particularly during the Edo period, held varying degrees of influence and power. Most people imagine samurai as warriors clad in armor, brandishing swords, but the women of this era were not just passive figures. They were integral to maintaining the household, managing finances, and, when necessary, defending their homes. Interestingly, many noble women were also educated, often mastering arts and literature, which allowed them to wield a different form of influence. In the case of the 47 Ronin, the female figures played vital roles behind the scenes. For instance, wives of samurai often supported their husbands' decisions, including those that might lead to conflict or rebellion. This raises a fascinating point. Many of the decisions made by the Ronin were not solely theirs. Their families, particularly their wives, influenced their choices, providing emotional support and urging them to honor their commitments to their fallen lord. Asano Naganori. A somewhat controversial point in discussing the Ronin's story is the perception of women's loyalty. Many narratives focus heavily on male honor and sacrifice, potentially overlooking how women's loyalty was expressed in more subtle, yet equally profound ways. While men took to the battlefield, women often ensured that their legacies were preserved, reinforcing the ideals of honor and duty within their families. Some scholars argue that women's sacrifices during this time were just as impactful as those of their male counterparts, pushing viewers to reconsider how they define loyalty and sacrifice in this context. A rare fact that often goes unnoticed is that several women were known to have aided the Ronin in their quest. Some accounts suggest that women played pivotal roles in providing intelligence and logistical support to the Ronin. This involvement included gathering information on Kira Yoshinaka's movements, and perhaps even assisting in maintaining communication between the Ronin while they plotted their revenge. The actions of these women, while not always recorded in detail, exemplified the ways in which female agency manifested even in a predominantly male-centric narrative. As we delve deeper into the historical context, it's important to note the influence of social class on women's roles. Women from samurai families had different expectations and opportunities compared to those from lower classes. For instance, while noble women could engage in political discussions and sometimes wield considerable visible power. Peasant women typically focused on household responsibilities, illustrating a distinct division of roles based on class. This socioeconomic disparity adds another layer to understanding the contributions of women in the Ronin story. In examining the legacy of the 47 Ronin, we must also consider how modern adaptations of this tale portray women. Recent films and literature have begun to highlight female characters more prominently, offering new interpretations of the story that include women as active participants rather than mere bystanders. This shift reflects broader societal changes in recognizing and valuing women's contributions across history. Moreover, the contemporary lens also provides opportunities for reflection on gender roles today. By analyzing the roles women played in the Ronin's narrative, we can challenge our perspectives on loyalty and honor. Are these values only meant for the battlefield, or do they extend to the everyday sacrifices made by individuals in less glorified roles? Understanding the women in the 47 Ronin story invites us to recognize and appreciate the complexity of loyalty, bravery, and the human experience as a whole. In conclusion, the role of women in the story of the 47 Ronin is not merely a side note in a tale of male heroism. Their contributions are vital to understanding the full scope of loyalty, sacrifice, and honor depicted in this narrative. As we continue to explore historical narratives, it is essential to include women's perspectives, acknowledging their influence in shaping the events that define legendary tales. This approach not only enriches our understanding of the past, but also inspires us to reflect on the roles individuals play in our own lives, regardless of gender. What historical events influenced the Ronin's action? Many people often think of samurai as the ultimate warriors, operating in a vacuum of honor and combat, but the reality is much more intricate. The tale of the 47 Ronin is set against a backdrop of significant political upheaval and societal transformation, particularly during the Edo period in Japan. The Edo period, which lasted from 1603 to 1868, was characterized by relative peace and stability following a long period of warfare. For instance, while samurai were expected to uphold the code of honor, known as Bushido, they also faced pressures that stemmed from a changing socio-political landscape. The rigid class structure and expectations placed on samurai became increasingly difficult to navigate as Japan transitioned from a feudal society to a more centralized bureaucratic system. Political instability played a crucial role in the Ronin's motivations. The Shōgun, who wielded considerable power, had to balance the interests of various clans while maintaining order. In this volatile environment, the actions of the 47 Ronin can be seen as a response to both personal grievances and broader societal injustices. Their desire to avenge their lord, Asano Naganori, was not merely an isolated act of revenge. It was also a challenge to the shogun's authority and the status quo. An interesting and often overlooked fact is that the actions of the Ronin were influenced by their awareness of the power dynamics at play. They understood that their quest for vengeance would not only have implications for their own lives, but would also resonate throughout the samurai class and beyond. The Ronin's rebellion against the corrupt court official, Kira Yoshinaka, represented a broader frustration with the corruption that permeated the political system. Many samurai felt that the traditional values they were taught were being undermined by the actions of self-serving officials. In examining the Ronin's motivations, we must also consider how societal changes affected the samurai class. The emergence of merchant classes and the rise of a more prosperous economy created tensions. Samurai, who once enjoyed a privileged status, began to feel threatened by the increasing power of merchants and commoners. This economic shift fueled discontent among samurai, who were struggling to maintain their positions of influence. It is within this context that the 47 Ronin's actions can be interpreted not just as an act of loyalty to their fallen lord, but also as a desperate attempt to reclaim their honor in a society that was changing around them. A somewhat controversial aspect of this discussion is the idea that the Ronin's quest can be viewed as a form of social rebellion. While many glorify their actions as noble and honorable, it's crucial to recognize that their choices also reflected a resistance against the very authority that upheld the samurai class. By taking matters into their own hands, the Ronin effectively challenged the social hierarchy and questioned the legitimacy of the shogun's rule. This raises the question, is rebellion justified when it is rooted in a desire for honor, or does it reflect a deeper conflict within society? As we delve deeper into the historical events that shaped the Ronin's actions, it's essential to recognize the complexity of their motives. Events leading up to the infamous attack on Kira Yoshinaka were layered with social and political significance. The assassination of their lord by Kira set off a chain reaction of emotions, leading the Ronin to embrace a path that, while deadly, was seen as the only way to restore their honor. A rare fact that may surprise many is that the actions of the Ronin inspired other samurai and even common people to take a stand against injustice. Their tale of loyalty and vengeance resonated throughout Japan, influencing future generations. The Ronin became symbols of honor, and their actions sparked discussions on the morality of revenge and justice, themes that are still relevant today. In conclusion, the historical events that influenced the actions of the Ronin are a testament to the complex interplay of politics, society, and individual choices. Their story transcends mere revenge. It reflects the struggles of a class grappling with its identity in a rapidly changing world. By understanding the context in which the Ronin operated, we gain a richer appreciation of their actions and the legacy they left behind. As we reflect on their story, we are reminded that history is not just about heroes and villains, but about the intricate web of influences that shape human behavior and societal change. How did the 47 Ronin inspire later generations? Most people think that tales of revenge are solely about the act itself, but the reality is that such stories can transcend time, sparking inspiration and change in ways we might not expect. The saga of the 47 Ronin is not just a narrative of vengeance. It embodies principles that resonate deeply throughout Japanese culture and beyond, shaping the fabric of honor, loyalty, and the complexities of justice. At the heart of this story is the Ronin's act of defiance against oppression and injustice. This spirit of resistance has inspired countless works of art, literature, and theater. For instance, their tale has been adapted into numerous kabuki plays, films, and novels, each reinterpretation breathing new life into the ancient story while highlighting its timeless themes. One of the most famous adaptations is the 1941 film The 47 Ronin, which captivated audiences not only with its dramatic retelling, but also with the emotional weight of the characters' sacrifices. A fascinating fact that might surprise you is that their story became so ingrained in Japanese culture that it has influenced modern media, inspiring films, manga, and even video games. The themes of loyalty and sacrifice found in the story of the 47 Ronin are echoed in contemporary narratives, resonating with audiences who find themselves grappling with similar moral dilemmas in their own lives. This shows how powerful stories can transcend their historical contexts and continue to influence modern ideals of heroism and honor. The idea of the Ronin as noble figures, fighting for their lost lord and by extension their own honor, offers a lens through which many view the samurai class. The Ronin have become symbolic of a certain brand of heroism that is rooted in loyalty, showcasing the complexities of duty and honor that often accompany leadership roles. However, this portrayal can be somewhat controversial. While many see the Ronin as heroes, others argue that their actions reflect a misguided sense of loyalty, pushing back against the established order in ways that ultimately undermine societal stability. Furthermore, the legacy of the 47 Ronin extends into discussions about sacrifice and justice. Their willingness to lay down their lives for the sake of honor and loyalty challenges us to consider the lengths we would go for our beliefs. The idea of taking a stand against wrongdoing, often at great personal cost, resonates with individuals today who find themselves in situations where their values are tested. It begs the question, how far would you go to defend what you believe in? In Japanese culture, the annual memorial services held to honor the Ronin further illustrate their enduring influence. These services commemorate not only the lives lost in the quest for vengeance, but also celebrate the values of loyalty and honor that the Ronin epitomized. This act of remembrance keeps their legacy alive, providing a point of reflection for generations that follow. It emphasizes the significance of collective memory in shaping cultural identity and values. Moreover, the story of the 47 Ronin serves as a cautionary tale about the consequences of dishonor and betrayal. Kira Yoshinaka's role as the antagonist demonstrates how the actions of one individual can set off a chain reaction, leading to tragedy and conflict. This dynamic serves as a reminder that our choices, especially those made in positions of power, can have far-reaching effects, shaping not only our lives but also the lives of others. As we examine how the 47 Ronin inspired later generations, it's crucial to acknowledge the duality of their legacy. They are celebrated for their unwavering loyalty and bravery. Their story also raises ethical questions about the nature of justice. This dichotomy invites audiences to engage critically with the narrative, encouraging a deeper understanding of what it means to be honorable in a complex world. A lesser-known fact about the Ronin is that their story also inspired movements beyond Japan. In various countries, their tale has been adapted and reinterpreted, often reflecting local struggles for justice and freedom. This cross-cultural exchange showcases the universality of the themes present in their story, illustrating how honor and loyalty resonate across different societies and historical contexts. Ultimately, the legacy of the 47 Ronin serves as a powerful testament to the enduring nature of stories and their ability to inspire and provoke thought across generations. By engaging with their narrative, we can reflect on our own values and consider the importance of loyalty, sacrifice, and justice in our lives. The story of the 47 Ronin continues to challenge us to examine our beliefs, prompting us to ask, what does it truly mean to be honorable in our contemporary world? As we celebrate their story and the lessons it imparts, we are reminded that while the Ronin's quest for vengeance was rooted in specific historical events, the themes of their story transcend time, urging us to uphold our values and strive for justice in our own lives. What role did the Shōgun play in this tale? Most people think that authority figures are merely enforcers of laws, but the reality is that their decisions can significantly alter the course of history. In the case of the 47 Ronin, the Shōgun's authority was not just a backdrop. It was a catalyst that fueled the samurai's actions, shaping the very fabric of their narrative. The Shōgun's role in the events leading to the legendary revenge of the 47 Ronin cannot be overstated. At that time, the Shōgun represented the ultimate authority authority in Japan, overseeing not only the samurai class but also the political and social order of the nation. The power dynamics were complex, and the shogun was responsible for maintaining stability in a society where honor and duty were paramount. However, this very power was tested by the actions of the Ronin, who chose to take matters into their own hands. A little-known fact is that the shogun, specifically Tokugawa Tsunayoshi, was perceived as both a protector and a potential tyrant. His administration was marked by strict laws designed to maintain control over the samurai. Yet these laws also sparked resentment among some samurai who felt stifled by the regime. The 47 Ronin's actions were, in many ways, a rebellion against this strict control, challenging the very foundation of the shogun's authority. This act of defiance led many to see the Ronin not just as outlaws, but as noble figures fighting for a greater cause. The shogun's response to the Ronin's actions is crucial for understanding the narrative's tension. After the attack on Kira Yoshinaka, the Ronin surrendered, fully aware that their defiance would lead to their deaths. The shogun was faced with a dilemma: to uphold the law and execute the Ronin, or to acknowledge their loyalty and sacrifice. In a surprising turn, he chose the former. This decision was steeped in controversy. Many viewed it as an overreach of power, believing that the Ronin's actions, though illegal, were rooted in a sense of justice and honor. The execution of the 47 Ronin sent shockwaves through the samurai class and Japanese society as a whole. It underscored the precarious balance between loyalty to one's lord and obedience to the shogun. In a society where honor was the ultimate currency, the Ronin's choice to avenge their lord despite knowing the consequences highlighted the conflict between personal duty and societal expectations. It was a moral quandary that resonated deeply with the samurai ethos and raised questions about what true honor entailed. A controversial point often debated is whether the shogun's response was justified. Some argue that by executing the Ronin, he was maintaining order and ensuring that the law was upheld. Others contend that he was denying the samurai their rightful place as defenders of honor, thus alienating a significant portion of the warrior class. This tension between authority and the samurai code of conduct continues to fuel discussions about power dynamics in feudal Japan and their relevance today. The shogun's actions also shaped public perception of the Ronin. Rather than being seen as mere criminals, they became martyrs for a cause that many came to admire. This transformation is a testament to how narratives can evolve, often influenced by those in power. In the aftermath, the story of the 47 Ronin morphed into a legend, symbolizing the struggle for honor and loyalty against an oppressive regime. Temporary discussions, the shogun's role serves as a reminder of the impact of leadership on societal values. The decisions made by authority figures often ripple through history, shaping narratives that endure long after the events themselves have passed. Understanding the shogun's position allows us to see the broader implications of the Ronin story, linking the past with our present understanding of justice and loyalty. Additionally, the relationship between the shogun and the Ronin highlights the complexities of governance. It poses questions about the balance between order and individual rights, which remain pertinent today. How do we navigate the delicate dance between following the law and standing up for our beliefs? The Ronin's quest for honor challenges us to consider our own responses to authority and the sacrifices we are willing to make for what we believe is right. Ultimately, the tale of the 47 Ronin and the shogun's role in it reflects the struggles inherent in any society governed by a hierarchy. It serves as a powerful reminder that the fight for honor and justice often comes at a great cost. By examining this dynamic, we can draw lessons that resonate beyond the historical context, urging us to reflect on our values and the lengths we would go to uphold them. The enduring legacy of the Ronin and their defiance against the shogun underscores the idea that stories of bravery and sacrifice have the power to inspire future generations. It encourages us to think critically about the complexities of honor, duty, and justice in our own lives, reminding us that the choices we make today can shape the narratives of tomorrow. How does this story reflect on our own ideas of justice? Most people think that justice is a clear-cut concept defined by laws and regulations, but the reality is far more complex, especially when we consider the actions of the 47 Ronin. Their quest for revenge was rooted in a profound sense of honor, challenging the very definitions of justice and morality in feudal Japan. To understand the Ronin's actions, we must first appreciate the historical context. The samurai were bound by a code of honor known as Bushido, which emphasized loyalty, bravery, and personal sacrifice. This code dictated that loyalty to one's lord was paramount, and in the case of the Ronin, their lord had been wronged. Asano Naganori was pushed to commit seppuku, a form of ritual suicide, after being humiliated by the corrupt court official Kira Yoshinaka. This act of dishonor ignited a spark in the Ronin, propelling them into a moral conflict that many would see as a quest for justice. In today's society, we often face similar dilemmas. Consider a situation where the law appears to protect the wrongdoers while punishing the innocent. The Ronin saw Kira's actions as a personal affront, not only to their lord but also to the very fabric of justice that they were sworn to uphold. Their response was not simply a matter of revenge. It was a direct challenge to an authority that they perceived as unjust. This raises an important question. How far would you go to seek justice when the systems in place seem to fail you? A strange fact is that while many admire the Ronin for their loyalty and bravery, some critics argue that their quest for revenge was fundamentally flawed. They believed that resorting to violence undermines the very ideals they sought to protect. This paradox highlights a controversial aspect of the Ronin's legacy. Does the end justify the means? In a world where justice is often interpreted through different lenses, the Ronin's story serves as a powerful reminder that the lines between right and wrong can become blurred. This complexity is further illustrated by the Shogun's response to the Ronin's actions. After the successful attack on Kira, the Ronin chose to surrender rather than flee, fully aware that their fate was sealed. The Shogun faced a moral dilemma of his own: to enforce the law against the Ronin, or to acknowledge their honor in seeking vengeance for their lord. He ultimately chose to uphold the law, ordering the Ronin to commit seppuku, which many viewed as a grave injustice. This decision sparked debates about the nature of justice in a society that revered loyalty and honor over mere legal compliance. Another rare fact to consider is that the concept of justice in Japan, particularly during the Edo period, was heavily influenced by Confucian ideals, which emphasized moral integrity over strict adherence to laws. This philosophical background added a layer of complexity to the Ronin's actions, suggesting that their pursuit of revenge could be viewed as a moral imperative rather than a mere act of defiance against the law. It challenges us to reflect on our definitions of justice and the moral underpinnings of our actions. As we analyze the Ronin's quest, it becomes evident that their story transcends the historical moment in which it occurred. Ethical questions they raised continue to resonate today. Are we willing to stand up for what we believe is right, even if it means defying authority? The Ronin's legacy encourages us to examine our beliefs about justice, prompting discussions that remain relevant in contemporary society. Furthermore, their story serves as a reminder that the fight for justice often comes at a personal cost. The Ronin were not merely seeking revenge, they were engaging in a battle for their honor, their identities, and the values they held dear. This notion prompts us to consider our own values and the sacrifices we might make to uphold them. How far would we go in the name of justice? Would we be willing to face dire consequences for the sake of our beliefs? The tale of the 47 Ronin ultimately illustrates the intricate dance between justice, honor, and societal expectations. It compels us to confront our assumptions and encourages deep reflection on the nature of morality in our lives. As we continue to grapple with similar dilemmas in the modern world, the Ronin story remains a poignant reminder of the complexities that define our understanding of justice, urging us to seek a balance between loyalty to our values and adherence to the law. Their legacy challenges us to think critically about our own roles in advocating for justice in an imperfect world. In summary, the Ronin's actions invite us to explore the nuanced relationship between justice and honor. Their story not only challenges our understanding of these concepts, but also inspires us to reflect on how we define right and wrong in our lives. As we move forward, let us carry the lessons of the Ronin with us, recognizing that the pursuit of justice often requires us to navigate complex moral landscapes. Armed with conviction and courage, parallels can we draw between the Ronin and modern heroes? You might think that the essence of heroism is a modern construct, something shaped by contemporary media and culture. But the truth is, the themes embodied by the 47 Ronin resonate deeply within many modern narratives, revealing that the essence of heroism transcends time and culture. When we examine the story of the Ronin, we see a profound sense of loyalty, honor, and sacrifice that aligns closely with the traits we celebrate in today's heroes. Think of characters in popular culture, like those in comic books or movies, who battle against overwhelming odds. They often face moral dilemmas similar to those encountered by the Ronin. This begs the question, what does it truly mean to be a hero? Is it simply the ability to vanquish foes, or is it the courage to stand up for one's beliefs, regardless of the consequences? The Ronin's actions were rooted in their unwavering loyalty to their fallen lord, Asano Naganori. This loyalty drove them to undertake an audacious plan of revenge that many viewed as noble, despite its illegality. Similarly, modern heroes often find themselves in situations where they must choose between adhering to societal norms and doing what they believe is right. This theme of personal integrity in the face of systemic injustice is incredibly powerful. It resonates with audiences, challenging them to consider how far they would go to uphold their own beliefs. A strange fact is that while many see the Ronin as exemplary heroes, some critics argue that their quest for vengeance was misguided. I maintain that resorting to violence undermines the very ideals of justice they sought to protect. This creates a fascinating conflict within the narrative of heroism itself. The ambiguity surrounding the morality of the Ronin's actions prompts us to ask, can an act of revenge ever be justified, or does it perpetuate a cycle of violence? This controversial viewpoint pushes viewers to engage with the narrative on a deeper level, fostering discussion about the complexities of justice and morality. Moreover, if we consider popular modern heroes, like Batman for example, we find similar moral complexities. Batman operates outside the law, driven by a personal code of ethics that often puts him at odds with the very system he aims to protect. Just as the Ronin acted against the Shogun's authority, Batman defies the law in pursuit of justice. This raises an intriguing point. The lines between heroism and vigilantism can become blurred, challenging our perceptions of right and wrong. Interestingly, the legacy of the Ronin has not only influenced storytelling strong in Japan, but has also permeated Western narratives. Think about the many stories of anti-heroes we see in films and literature today. Characters like Deadpool or Tony Stark embody traits similar to the Ronin. They operate on their own moral compass, often ignoring societal rules while striving to achieve what they believe is right. This connection highlights how stories of loyalty and sacrifice continue to inspire diverse interpretations of heroism across cultures. The essence of honor and personal sacrifice found in the Ronin's story reflects a universal truth about the human experience. Many people have admired figures who prioritize loyalty over self-interest, whether it's a soldier in battle or a whistleblower exposing corruption. The Ronin exemplify this by risking everything, including their lives, for their beliefs and their fallen lord. This quality resonates with audiences worldwide and invites them to reflect on their own values. A rare fact to consider is that the Ronin story has also inspired countless adaptations in various forms of media, from kabuki theater to modern cinema. Each retelling offers a fresh perspective on their actions, highlighting different aspects of loyalty, honor, and justice. These adaptations allow contemporary audiences to connect with the story on a personal level, reaffirming that the themes of the Ronin are still relevant today. As we draw parallels between the Ronin and modern heroes, we recognize the enduring power of storytelling. Whether it's the Ronin fighting for honor in feudal Japan or a superhero battling for justice in a contemporary city, the core themes of loyalty, sacrifice, and moral ambiguity remain constant. This connection serves to inspire new ideas about heroism and challenges us to consider what it means to stand up for our beliefs in the face of adversity. In summary, the legacy of the 47 Ronin provides a rich tapestry of themes that resonate deeply in today's narratives. Their unwavering loyalty, moral complexity, and willingness to confront authority invite us to explore the nature of heroism in our lives. As we engage with these timeless themes, we are reminded that the essence of what makes someone a hero transcends time and cultural boundaries. The Ronin's story encourages us to reflect on our values, prompting questions that are just as relevant today as they were centuries ago. In this way, their tale continues to inspire us, challenging us to redefine what it means to be a hero in an ever-changing world. What are the modern-day implications of the Ronin story? Many people believe that stories of honor and loyalty belong to the past, but the reality is that these themes are just as relevant today. The tale of the 47 Ronin resonates deeply with contemporary society, urging us to reflect on our values, decisions, and the principles that guide our actions. To understand the implications of the Ronin story, we first have to consider what loyalty truly means in today's context. In a world filled with corporate scandals and political corruption, loyalty is often tested. Most people think loyalty is unwavering support for a leader or organization. However, the reality is more nuanced. The Ronin demonstrated that loyalty does not always equate to blind allegiance. Instead, it can also mean standing up for one's beliefs and values, even when it goes against authority. This brings us to a strange fact. Loyalty can sometimes lead to dangerous consequences. The Ronin chose to avenge their lord, which ultimately resulted in their deaths. In modern contexts, individuals might find themselves in similarly perilous positions when they decide to prioritize personal ethics over institutional loyalty. Take the example of whistleblowers. They often risk their careers and even their safety to expose wrongdoing within organizations. Their stories highlight the complex dynamics of loyalty and integrity, echoing the choices faced by the Ronin. The Ronin's legacy also prompts us to consider the balance between justice and revenge. In their quest, the Ronin took justice into their own hands, challenging the Shogun's authority. This act raises profound ethical questions. Is revenge ever justified? Can personal vendettas serve a greater good? Most people might argue that revenge perpetuates a cycle of violence, yet many still romanticize revenge stories in films and literature, seeing the Avenger as a hero. A controversial point is that in some cases, revenge may be viewed as a form of justice, especially when formal systems fail to provide it. The Ronin felt that they had no choice but to act as judges and executioners because the law had failed them. This resonates in contemporary discussions about systemic injustice, where marginalized groups often feel unheard and resort to protests or direct action to reclaim agency. While the methods may differ, the underlying sentiments of the Ronin remain relevant in today's struggles for justice and equality. A rare fact to consider is that the 47 Ronin story has been a source of inspiration for numerous movements advocating for social change. For instance, the concept of hara-kiri, or seppuku, practiced by the Ronin, symbolizes the ultimate commitment to honor and loyalty, which can be seen in various movements that emphasize sacrifice for a cause. Modern activists, from civil rights leaders to environmentalists, often embody this spirit of fighting for a greater good, even at great personal cost. As we reflect on the Ronin's legacy, we find that their story encourages us to rethink loyalty and justice in our own lives. In an age where social media shapes public discourse, individuals are more empowered than ever to speak out against injustices, much like the Ronin did. The question we must ask ourselves is, are we willing to stand up for our beliefs, even when it might put us at odds with authority or the status quo? Moreover, the Ronin story challenges us to consider the implications of our choices. Their journey wasn't wasn't just about revenge, it was a testament to their unwavering commitment to their values. In today's fast-paced world, where the line between right and wrong can often blur, their example serves as a reminder to act with integrity and purpose. In conclusion, the story of the 47 Ronin is not just a tale from the past. It holds powerful lessons for our modern lives. Their legacy inspires us to evaluate our own loyalties, question the nature of justice, and challenge societal norms. By reflecting on these themes, we can cultivate a deeper understanding of what it means to be loyal, brave, and just in our own lives. The Ronin remind us that standing up for what is right, even in the face of adversity, is an enduring aspect of the human experience that continues to shape our world today. What parallels can we draw between the Ronin and modern heroes? You might think that heroism is a modern concept defined by flashy superpowers or grand acts of bravery, but the reality is that heroism can be found in the most unexpected places, like in the quiet resolve of the 47 Ronin. Their story transcends time, offering insights into the nature of bravery, sacrifice, and loyalty that resonate deeply with our contemporary heroes. Consider this: many people assume heroes are those who wear capes or stand in the spotlight. However, true heroism often exists in the shadows, in the decisions made behind closed doors. Much like the Ronin who plotted their revenge in secret, they knew that their mission to restore their fallen lord's honor could cost them everything. And their choice to act, despite the potential for dire consequences, is a hallmark of true heroism, a theme that echoes through countless modern narratives. In today's world, we see echoes of the Ronin in individuals who fight for justice without the promise of reward. For instance, think about whistleblowers who expose corruption in powerful organizations. Their actions often lead to personal and professional ruin, yet they are driven by a sense of duty. Much like the Ronin were motivated by their loyalty to Asano Naganori, the Ronin's commitment to their cause reminds us that heroism can be defined by unwavering loyalty and the willingness to stand up for what is right, even against overwhelming odds. A strange fact to consider is that not all heroes are celebrated in their time. The Ronin, despite their legendary status today, were labeled criminals and outlaws after they avenged their lord. Their actions were seen as defiance against the established order, just as many modern heroes, such as civil rights activists, were vilified during their struggle for justice. The history of heroism is littered with examples of individuals whose bravery was only recognized posthumously. This leads to a controversial realization: societal acceptance of heroism often comes long after the hero has acted. Many modern stories echo the themes of the 47 Ronin, particularly in literature and film. Think of the countless adaptations of hero myths and legends where protagonists face moral dilemmas that require them to balance loyalty, justice, and personal sacrifice. For instance, in popular culture, characters like Katniss Everdeen from The Hunger Games embody the spirit of the Ronin. She stands against an oppressive regime, making personal sacrifices for the greater good, and her journey raises questions about loyalty to family versus the greater good of society. Just like the Ronin, Katniss must navigate complex moral landscapes to define her own brand of heroism. A rare insight into the narrative of heroism is how the story of the Ronin has influenced other cultures and their interpretations of loyalty and sacrifice. In many Asian cultures, the themes of loyalty and honor are deeply ingrained, often manifesting in their storytelling traditions. The Ronin's tale serves as a cultural touchstone, shaping how heroes are perceived and celebrated across different societies. This influence continues today, with many modern heroes drawing from this rich tapestry of values. As we explore the idea of modern heroism, we must ask ourselves, what sacrifices are we willing to make for our principles? The Ronin story serves as a powerful reminder that true heroism often requires significant personal sacrifice. Their ultimate act of seppuku after avenging Asano Naganori not only cemented their legacy but also demonstrated their commitment to their ideals. In contemporary terms, how often do we see individuals willing to sacrifice their comfort, reputation, or even their lives for a cause they believe in? From climate activists risking arrest to whistleblowers exposing corruption, modern heroes often face similar challenges as the Ronin did. Furthermore, the Ronin's unwavering commitment to their cause sheds light on the essence of what it means to be a hero today. They remind us that heroes do not always have to wear capes or wield swords. They can be ordinary people standing up for their beliefs in extraordinary ways. This understanding invites us to redefine heroism and recognize the quiet acts of bravery that happen every day in our communities. In conclusion, the parallels between the Ronin and modern heroes are striking. Both embody the spirit of loyalty, sacrifice, and moral complexity that transcends time and culture. Their story encourages us to reevaluate our own definitions of heroism and consider the silent battles being fought around us. As we draw inspiration from the Ronin, let us reflect on how we can be heroes in our own right, standing up for our values and making choices that align with our principles, just as they did. The legacy of the 47 Ronin serves as a powerful reminder that heroism is often found in the quiet courage of those who dare to challenge the status quo, and that we too can embody this spirit in our daily lives. If you enjoyed this epic journey, please subscribe to our channel for more thrilling historical tales. Don't miss out on new videos. Hit the notification bell to stay updated.